Welcome to our show, Solar Maximum 2025, a major threat to Earth Part 1 of 2. The relationship between the Sun and Earth's magnetic field or magnetosphere is critical to supporting all life on Mother Earth. While the Sun's energy drives photosynthesis and sustains our ecosystems, Earth's magnetic field shields us from harmful cosmic radiation and charged particles emitted from the Sun, which can strip away our atmosphere over time. In 2025, the Sun is entering a phase of heightened activity known as the solar maximum. At the same time, unusual activities are weakening Earth's magnetic field, most notably in a region known as the South Atlantic Anomaly. How will the current solar maximum and Earth's weakening magnetic field impact our planet in 2025 and beyond? We will explore this topic in our two-part series. Approximately every 11 years, the Sun completes a solar cycle, during which its magnetic poles flip, reversing the direction of its magnetic field. Midway through this cycle, the Sun reaches peak surface activity, known as the solar maximum.
Roughly every 11 years, the Sun's magnetic field completely flips. This means the Sun's north and south magnetic poles switch places. Around the time of this flip, solar activity gradually ramps up. The Sun will have more sunspots and solar eruptions like solar flares and coronal mass ejections. The peak of this activity is known as solar maximum. Solar maximum marks the halfway point of the solar cycle and usually means a year or two of high solar activity.
Astronomers believe the current solar maximum began in October 2024 and will likely continue until at least October 2025. During this period, the Sun's magnetic field becomes twisted and tangled, leading to the appearance of cooler, darker regions on its surface, called sunspots. When the magnetic field around these sunspots becomes overly stressed, the Sun can release violent eruptions known as solar flares and coronal mass ejections, or CMEs.
I've always found solar flares to be both terrifying and hypnotizing. They are colossal explosions where the Sun spews out an immense amount of electromagnetic radiation. They are caused when magnetic fields cross, distort, and reorganize themselves rapidly. This activity is created by the turbulent nature of the plasma within the Sun itself, from which the fields ultimately originate.
This is real footage of our Sun ejecting billions of tons of material into space. A true-to-scale image of Earth has been added to the video to highlight the immense scale of this event. This phenomenon is called a coronal mass ejection, or CME.
Sunspots, solar flares, and CMEs all become more common during the solar maximum. You are 50 times more likely to see a solar flare during solar maximum compared to the Sun's minimum, and large CMEs go from happening once every few days to multiple times in a single day.
If directed at Earth, these colossal solar explosions, reaching up to 10 million times more energy than a volcanic eruption, can trigger geomagnetic storms that disturb Earth's magnetic field, potentially disrupting critical infrastructure worldwide. About 155 years ago, Earth experienced one of the most powerful geomagnetic storms ever recorded, known as the Carrington event.
On September 1st, astronomer Richard Carrington was studying the sun when he noticed something unusual. At about 11 a.m., he was observing a huge sunspot, about 10 times the size of the Earth. Then suddenly a flash of intense white light burst out of the spot. What Carrington didn't realize was he had become the first eyewitness of a major coronal mass ejection, or CME, and it was headed straight for Earth. 17 hours later, the night sky in North America lit up like the day. A few hours later, on September 2nd, the most powerful solar storm ever recorded crashed into the Earth's atmosphere. Our magnetic field was immediately overpowered and created chaos around the world. Telegraph lines were shorting out in Europe and North America. Equipment was throwing sparks and some burst into flames. Telegraph operators were burned or jolted with electric shocks. The word went out to telegraph operators to shut down the equipment. And they did, but even disconnected from their power supplies, everything still worked. In fact, telegraphs were more powerful than ever. Nobody had ever seen anything like this before. This became known as the Carrington event.
What if a solar storm like the Carrington event hit us today? If Earth was struck by a solar storm equivalent to the Carrington event today, the consequences would be catastrophic.
The Carrington flare carried 4 by 10 to the power of 32 ergs of energy. This is roughly equivalent to 700 billion nuclear bombs, the size of Little Boy, the Hiroshima bomb. A 2013 study estimated that the electrical outages caused by a Carrington-level event would cost $2.6 trillion for the North American power industry alone.
Many experts warn that humanity is woefully unprepared for a truly catastrophic solar storm. Experts warn that a flare on the scale of the 1859 Carrington event could fry satellites, cripple power grids, and even trigger nuclear plant malfunctions and plunge entire continents into darkness.
Moreover, scientists have discovered that over the past 15,000 years, Earth has experienced at least 9 solar superstorms, roughly 10 times stronger than the Carrington event, known as Miyake events. Will Earth soon face one of these devastating solar superstorms? While scientists cannot yet predict exactly when such intense solar phenomena will occur, the 2025 solar maximum has already led to large-scale blackouts and communications failures worldwide. On April 16, 2025, Earth was struck by multiple coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, triggering a strong G4 geomagnetic storm. That same day, Puerto Rico experienced a nationwide power blackout, and 2 widely used digital platforms, Spotify and Zoom, suffered major outages.
Developing tonight, a massive blackout in Puerto Rico, power out on the entire island. Puerto Rico's Electric Power Authority says that power will be out for at least 48 hours. Utility leaders say that it's not clear what caused this outage, and they are now focusing on restoring power.
Spotify says a widespread service outage that impacted users in several countries this morning is now resolved. Outage tracking website Down Detector registered tens of thousands of reports worldwide. So far, there's been no word on what caused the hours-long partial outage.
Zoom went down today, impacting people and businesses worldwide.
Behind-the-scenes frustrations today when popular video conferencing platform Zoom had a roughly 30-minute global outage around 9 this morning Hawaii time, with 59,000 users worldwide reporting issues.
On May 13th and 14th, 2025, Earth experienced a severe G4 geomagnetic storm caused by multiple solar flares, resulting in radio blackouts across several continents.
On May 14th, 2025, the Sun unleashed its most powerful solar flare of the year, a formidable X2.7 class eruption from sunspot region AR4 087. This event caused significant radio blackouts across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, highlighting the profound impact solar activity can have on our technology-dependent world.
As solar activity intensifies, scientists believe we have not yet reached the peak of the solar maximum, suggesting even stronger geomagnetic storms may be imminent.
These violent eruptions are becoming more frequent and powerful. According to NASA and NOAA, more flares and geomagnetic storms could hit Earth in the coming weeks. The real danger may still be ahead, with more powerful flares on the way. The question is no longer if, but when the next solar superstorm will strike, and if Earth will be ready to face the darkness.
All these signs affirm an urgent message by our most precious Supreme Master Jinghai Vegan on April 2nd, 2025, warning that Earth could face a cataclysmic solar storm between June 1st and November 15th, 2025, unlike anything we have ever seen before.
God told me that humans should fear for world destruction and fear for world karma. And I asked God, what shall we fear for now? And God said that the earth will explode. And I said, but when? So he said from 1st of June, 2025, until November 15th, same year. I asked God, but oh my God, then what is the cause of it? And I'm told that because of the Earth's rotation's conflict. And I asked, what is the effect of that? So I'm told that the magnetic field does not shield Earth because it has some damage and it's getting bigger. So the fire from the sun will penetrate and descend onto Earth. It's too much for the magnetic field to function, to shield the Earth. So Earth will be then burned all in its path, the sunfire path, yes, and cause a destructive explosion.
Supreme Master Jinghai appears to indicate that this potential forthcoming cataclysm is linked to the current solar maximum and Earth's weakened magnetic field. We will share more insights into her urgent warning and the simple, life-saving vegan solution in part 2 of this series. Benevolent viewers, thank you for being with us today.